People. Que pasa, suck pass, say what they do. Now the first thing that is popping in the news is an update about that incident that occurred in Montego Bay, which involves that pastor, that cult leader, and his sheeples, and the fact that 3 persons lost their life, and the fact that a couple persons were taken into custody. At least 9, I think, are still in custody, and also 14 people were involved in the sheeples. Now people, yesterday I saw that the Financial Crime Division of the JCF stepped in, and they took this man, Mr. Smith, Kevin Smith, His Excellency Fishery, and they took him to his houses, his 2 mansions, one place in Iron Shore, which is Montego Bay, which is a very upscale neighborhood. All of the people with legitimate money and not so legitimate money, ill-gotten gains, they live in places like those. It is the uppity place in a Montego Bay, or one of them, or the one. Now people, when we look at those places, I am not an appraiser for any sort of real estate agent. However, just knowing the prices of houses, we see that one in Iron Shore, we can estimate that it is in excess of $100 million. The next one, maybe $60 or $70 million. So people, we are talking about 170 million, maybe even more, of property that more than likely was paid for, more than likely was built by cash, more than likely was built by ill-gotten means, meaning that, let's call it donations from people that are of lesser financial stature. So therefore the poor is given to the rich. So people, that was red flag number 1. Now people, the next thing is that the poor brought him to the properties, and they one car rolled in, and they took out some sort of computer and whatever other evidence they could find. And he was right there smack in the middle, and he was being treated like a decent human being, because people, you know that when you have money, you are treated differently. Had this been some sort of poor man, they would have kicked down the gate, kicked down the door, go inside, get what them forgets, and then they take the evidence to court. However, when you are a name brand thief, criminal, you get treatment that is not like the regular average criminal. So therefore, he was there. Obviously, his lawyer might have been there too. Not 100% sure as to everybody that was there. However, the poor did their search. They took out some computers, other evidence that is going to be used against this man, or maybe not. Now people, first thing first. As it pertains to the crime that this man is going to be charged with, or should be charged with, this is the thing. The courts, the system will have to prove that the money that this man got was not voluntarily. Him basically tricked them. Him tell them, he gave them all sorts of promises and said, listen, we are going to do this, we are going to do that, or I am going to do this, and you're going to reap the benefits coming from the man up above through me. So people gave donation, because like them say, give a little, get a whole lot. However people, these promises have never been forthcoming. These promises were never going to manifest. So therefore, was it volunteer? Was it a scam? Was it a sham? People, let me know what you think in the comment section. So that is one thing that the court will have to prove. The next thing is that the incident itself that happened at the church property, in which 3 persons lose their life. The court will even have to prove this too, because people that lost their life, persons that were there, do you think that these people who are so brainwashed, are so brain dead, is going to actually have the balls, have the intestinal fortitude, have the guts to go and testify against their pastor, who they look upon on high esteem? Do you think that they are going to go in courts and basically become Judas and sell out their Jesus? People, that is going to be something very hard, because they believe in this man so much. Whatever he says is the gospel. And if the other sheepers that are out there realize sister this or brother this is actually going to be the key witness, people, it is going to be problematic. So therefore, the prosecution, the system will now have to try to convince all these people that are going to be key witnesses, wipe their mind, clear their slates, their memory clean, and then put something else in them head, people, that is going to be problematic. So people, me just assure you the problem that the prosecution is going to have going forward with this case and getting these sheepers, brainwash, brain DEAD people to actually testify. Now people, some of the red flags. This man claimed that he was building an ark such as Noah. However, this ark was on a foundation, that means it ain't at the ground, cement and steel. So therefore, this ark was supposed to be sailing away on dry land. There was going to be some sort of water that come and take away everybody. And a couple of sheep, couple of goats. I don't think that there were two of every animal, but people, just from the estimation of the place, that was the size of the place. However, people, this man is gifted, so therefore he might have fit everything in there, because that is what these people believe, right? So people, this place was never going to sail. This ship was never going to sail. So therefore, that was a next red flag. This place was just a sham, a scam. This place was nothing more than a warehouse, a storage house for all the goodies that he was getting, all the things that he was using, and acting as if he is helping the poor. So their little care package, their little baggages that he gave to the children or the family that were doing less than him financially. However, people, the truth and the fact is that this donation was not coming from God. This donation was not coming from him. This donation was coming from the same people that he was giving back to. So therefore, 3 million people give him, and then he give back to 3,000 people. We are talking about Brother and Nancy. This is exactly what this man was. Now, people, when we think about the fact that this man was not only a trick them and bust artist. So in other words, him fool the poor people, him fool the garrison people, but what was even more startling is that he had a fan base. He had some sheepers that were in high places. Now people, I don't know if you see the video. There's a video out when our Prime Minister Andrew Holness was nominated or going through his election process, in which him and some of his top lieutenants, top politicians, went to this man's place, and this man basically ordained him or gave him the power to win this election, or the power to be a good Prime Minister. So people, our own Prime Minister, our own ministers, our own celebrities, this man is like a celebrity to them. This man is like a leader to them. They believe in him so much. So therefore, what he did, he used these people in a high places and him convinced. So in other words, he used some alpha sheep and then him convinced the rest of not so alpha sheepers. So therefore, him tricked them. He used the Prime Minister, he used other members of parliament, other politicians, other persons in high places to basically carry out a master plan. He was the mastermind. He was the person that is benefiting from this most of all. So therefore, he was very strategic in his plans, to execute his plans, to trick them and bust. Now people, when we talk about politics and religion, these are two things that cause a whole lot of division. However, politics and politicians determine everything. They determine whether you go to the big yard, or they determine whether you are free. There's a next thing that is very close. I am speaking about the cult. I am speaking about the lodge. I am speaking about the Freemason. And people, if you know anything about that, you would know that most persons with any sorts of power, a lot of judges, a lot of rich people, they are in all three, 1, 2, or 3. So therefore, this is what we call, again, the body club. So I say this to say that, as it pertains to this man and his case, don't think that this is an open and shut case. Don't think that because them catch him in the building and when the popo come, them see people that were supposed to be some sort of sacrificial lamb. Don't think that automatically he is going to lose his case. Don't think because they went to 2 houses, 2 mansions in the hill, and they got all this evidence, it is going to be a slam dunk case, because people, the truth and the fact is that is the furthest thing from the fact. So I say this to say that when it comes to these cults, these lodge, these Freemason, them look out for each other. So therefore, body club. And one thing that we know about these high profile cases in Jamaica, these people have a way of beating these cases. And how do they do it? First thing first, they are going to get a high power attorney, Champagne, Samuels, or Nita Roberts, or Roberts, whatever her name is. And then they are going to go to court, more than likely. They are going to get bail, even though 3 persons lost their life, man and woman alike. And then they are going to use what we call the delay tactics, meaning that when this case call up, it is going to be delay. 6 months, 1 year, 2 year, 5 year, 10 year. And then a decade from now, we are going to ask ourselves, wait, whatever happened to this pastor? Case still a go on. Or the pastor is going to plea bargain due to the strategies of his lawyer and the judge and the prosecutor, and he's going to get minimal time. And people, we've seen this all before, so therefore this is nothing new. We should not be surprised if this happens. So people, like me say, who is going to testify against this pastor? Who is going to be the person that wants to be looked on as the Judas in this case and go against the golden child or the golden fish? Sir Excellency, whatever BS them call him. So people, I just assure you, it is going to be a uphill case for the prosecution. Unlike we've always seen, these high profile cases somehow always get fumbled, or somehow, even if this person gets convicted, he is going to beat it on some sort of technicality. And people, we've seen this on many occasions, several occasions. So people, at the end of the day, the moral of the story is this. This man is a psychopath. This man is a master manipulator. And we've even heard about one person, one lady, in which it is said that she took her family, meaning mother, father, and son, off her insurance policy. And she put this pastor as the beneficiary. Based on information, it is said that she was one of the first person that lost their life because she defiled. She did not listen to the pastor and she got take the joke. So therefore, she was corrupt according to the pastor, according to the evidence, allegedly. People, I cannot validate or verify all of this stuff. However, people, we say something in a something, wherever there is smoke, there is fire. So people, at the end of the day, the red flags were there. The ones that I spoke about, however, there were also others. We saw that he had a whole convoy of people on his birthday, a convoy of limousine with police escort going through, I think, Montego Bay, the city of Montego Bay. People were acting as if he was some sort of godlike character. People were taking pictures and screaming as if he was the religious Michael Jackson. So therefore, we see the signs. We saw a video circulating on social media in which he was cussing out the people, saying that if them not get any sorts of collection, in which he kept church once, twice, at least 4 or 5 times a week. So therefore, he was making hundreds of thousands of dollars per day, millions of dollars per week. He was buying big mansions, big cars, better houses, better cars than the sheeples. And we also see that he was acting as if he was a marriage counselor. So therefore he was giving advice to the single people in the church. Meanwhile, more than likely, he was jumping over the fence of some little youth, some little man, or even the church sisters. So therefore, people, if you see the sign and act like you're blind, what do you think is going to happen? So people, at the end of the day, we see that the church groups, they are lashing out. They are bashing this person, saying that he is some sort of cult leader. He is not a real religious leader. However, people, the truth and the fact is that 90% of these churches, 90% of these preachers, or even more, are just like this man. However, people, like them say, thief does not like to see thief with long bag. So people, the moral of the story is this. We've seen this cult-like thing in Jamaica for the longest time. The biggest cults in Jamaica, the church, religion, and also politics, meaning PNP and JLP, because they make a whole lot of promises. Everybody going poor or rich and come back out richer. Everybody is in it for self. Everybody going it to line their own pockets. All of the promises that they make, they are not going to be delivered. They are never going to be delivered. So people, me just say, a promise is a comfort to a fool. And we see that there's a whole bunch of fools in Jamaica because everybody's always looking for something or some set of group to belong because it seems as if they don't want to be lonely. So anyways, people, that is my views on the whole thing as it pertains to that. And like me say, it is just my views and opinion. It is not the gospel. Your views and opinion can be respectfully different from mine. But let me know what you think in the comment section. Bless up.